In this video, I want to show you guys how to set up your CBA folder where you'll save everything, and how to set up your textbooks and access your textbooks after you get them set up. The reason we're going to save our textbook locally onto our computer is because sometimes students get sick, or sometimes they have doctor's appointments and they have to miss class or miss school. This is an online class, meaning you can work on this class from home if you're absent. Right now, all the files for CBA are saved onto a drive called Moon Data Files, and that's on our school network. And I want to make it for you guys so that you can access your textbook and all the data files that you need for CBA from home or from any computer in the entire school. So, let's get started. On your taskbar at the bottom of your screen, you should have a folder, and its a little icon. It's called File Explorer. Go ahead and click that, and you should be doing this with me. Okay, once you've clicked it, you're going to see different things, and obviously I've had a lot of stuff open recently. But you're going to save everything in CBA this year in the Documents folder. So if you just scroll up, if you were down here and you scroll up to the top, it'll show Documents, and then you click that, and you're going to have, probably not very much right now because it's the beginning of the school year. But what we're going to do from here is you're going to create a folder for CBA work. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this together. You might want to split your screen so it's half the video and the other half is you working on your own File Explorer. Okay, to create a new folder, right up here in the top left corner, you have a button called New Folder. If you click that, it's going to bring up a brand new folder down here, and we're going to name this CBA. So you just type CBA and then press Enter on your keyboard, and that will submit the name. Now I want to get you guys set up for the entire year. So we're going to go double click CBA. So double click CBA, and that's going to bring you inside your CBA folder. Within this folder, we want a few other folders or subfolders so that we don't get all of our work jumbled up for the year. So here we go. Let's do another new folder. We're going to call this one Word and push Enter. I'm going to do 3 or 4 more. Let's see. We'll do one for Access, one for Excel, one for PowerPoint, and let's also do one for hardware and software. So take a second and get those added into your CBA folder. Remember, you can always push pause on the videos if I'm moving too fast. For me personally, it works better if I have 2 of these File Explorer windows open when I'm moving files. So I'm just going to pull this one over to the right side of my screen. I'm going to go down to the search bar on the taskbar, and I'm going to type in File, and that's going to bring up File Explorer, so I can have another window open here. I'm going to move it over here. So that might help you, might not. It's up to you, totally. Now, if you scroll down far enough, you should see a folder called Moon Data Files. And if you don't, if yours could look like this, it might just have this PC, but you don't really see the other drives within that, you can click the little expand button and then go down to Moon Data Files. Click one time on Moon Data Files, and that's going to bring you to Miss Moon Data Files, the folder. You guys will use Miss Moon Data Files a ton in this class. I mean, like every single day once we get into the swing of things with using the textbook and going through all kinds of activities. So it is vital that you remember how to get to Moon Data Files. So again, when it brings you to the main screen, you go over to the left, you click the expand button on this PC, and then go down to Moon Data Files. If you go there enough, it will show up in this area when you first open that screen, eventually. Okay, so from Miss Moon Data Files, we're going to double click that folder, and that brings up all the files for all my classes that I share with my students. We're going to go to Data Files for CBA, because this is CBA class. When you get to Moon Data Files, you are going to see a folder called Word 2016. That's the first one we're going to work in. So double click Word 2016. When you double click that, you're going to see first off all the data files. Unless you've got it in the opposite order, you might see the name at the top of the textbook. But the way I've got mine set up is I've got all my data files for lessons 1 through 9 in Word. And then I've got the MOAC Word textbook. You do not copy the data files to your CBA folder. The only thing you're going to copy is the textbook here. So I'm just going to right click and copy on the textbook. You should do the same. So right click, copy. You go over to your CBA folder. Remember, you go to Documents, CBA, and then you're going to your Word folder because this is our Word textbook. And then you right click, paste, and that's going to move your textbook over there. Again, do not copy the data files. The data files need to stay in Moon data files because you'll come there every time you need one of those data files, and leaving them there guarantees that they don't get changed up or deleted when you need them. We have copied the Word one. We're going to push the back button to get back to our CBA folder with all of our stuff in there, and we're going to go back to Moon data files, which is right now we're in the data files for CBA file. Okay, so you're just going to repeat this process for Excel, Access, and PowerPoint as well, but just make sure that you're only copying the textbooks. So for example, whoops, Access. If I go to Access, copy the textbook only, and go paste it into your Access folder. So that way you'll have that when we get to that. Alright, so right now I just want to talk about your actual CBA folder and what's actually going in there, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Just like every other class I've ever taught, any work you do for my class goes into that specific folder. The great thing about saving it in documents from here on out, like in the past we've used the iDrive and things like that, well now they've got it set up so that if we save in documents, it will auto sync with your OneDrive, and your OneDrive is accessible from your home or anywhere in the world basically, as long as you have internet access. So I just want to demonstrate how that's going to work. It's not set up that way yet because I'm making this video way too early in the year for that. But the way it's going to work is if I save something to my CBA folder, which we have just saved, our Word textbook and our Access textbook and all those textbooks, to our CBA folder in Documents. Okay, so if you go to your desktop, you have an icon called Office 365 Login. If you double click that, it's going to bring you to your Office 365 account, which is just your school email and password. You're going to log in. When you get logged in, you're going to see your section that shows all your different options. Well, one of those options happens to be OneDrive. So when you click OneDrive and let it load, it's not going to be there now, like I said, because they haven't set it up yet. But somewhere in this list, there would be a folder called CBA. And if you double clicked that folder called CBA, it would take you to all your stuff that you've saved for your CBA. So like if you're working at home and you can't get access to Moon data files, you could save those files here in Documents, and then that would sync with your OneDrive. Pretty cool if you ask me. Okay, one last thing before I let you go. If you ever have trouble noticing that your files have not synced from your CBA folder into your OneDrive and you really need them, you go to, this will be on your school computer or your school laptop. You go down here to your taskbar and you click this little arrow, and when you click that, again, mine's not set up yet, but it would be right here. There would be a little cloud looking thing like the OneDrive icon, and so you would click that OneDrive icon, a box would pop up here and it would say sign in. You would just simply sign in using your school email and password, the same one you log onto the computer with, and then everything would sync. So if you ever have that problem of things not syncing, just go down to that little arrow, click the cloud, and then sign in. And that'll do it for this video.